So lots of allegations, lots of politics going around as far as the Karnataka 40% cut money scandal is concerned. But it's very important for us to understand what happened and where is the story as of this moment. So here is an easy to understand explainer where we begin by asking the first question, what happened? So a civil contractor, Santosh Patil, who's also affiliated or was affiliated with the BJP, died by suicide on Tuesday. His body was found with a suicide note in a lodge in Udupi. He named Karnataka minister in this suicide note. He alleged that minister and his associates demanded 40% cut money. The name of Mr. Ishwarappa was there. The cut money was allegedly to clear a 4 crore bill in Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Department, and Mr. Ishwarappa is the Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Minister in the Karnataka Department, Karnataka Cabinet, and that's why his name is there. There is an abetment to suicide FIR which has been filed against Ishwarappa and his associates. Ishwarappa and the name of his associates are Basavaraj and Ramesh. All three have been named in the FIR for asking for a 40% cut, which led to the suicide of Santosh Patil. Now, what does the central unit of the BJP say? You see, in the suicide note, there was a mention that I informed the central leadership also. So what is the central leadership of the BJP saying or doing? Sources say that the BJP central leadership is unhappy with this corruption charge. Santosh Patil had also written a letter to the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister naming Ishwarappa. The Delhi leadership is reportedly discussing on action against Mr. Ishwarappa. Reports say that Ishwarappa will be asked to quit over these allegations. However, as of this moment, that doesn't seem to be happening. What does this minister in question say? What does he say, Ishwarappa? Ishwarappa is choosing to brazen it out. After reaching Shimoga, he says, I'm not going to resign. If they are asking for my resignation, I won't give. Very clearly, he is saying, almost challenging the central leadership of the BJP. He says in his defense that actually there was no work order. So if there is no work order, then there is no question of any cut money because the work was not commissioned. Patil wanted payments without norms, according to Mr. Ishwarappa. How can payments be released without a work order? This is his defense. Now, what is the Congress saying? Congress says, you investigate corruption cases beyond Mr. Ishwarappa also, because the Congress alleges that this is a case way beyond just one minister. Ishwarappa must be arrested over the suicide. So far, he has neither been arrested and he is also defying what sources believe is displeasure being expressed at the fact that he continues to be a minister. The Congress also says, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, that this was a murder and not a suicide. And former Home Minister K.J. George faced similar allegations in 2017, says Mr. Siddaramaiah, reminding that this is a matter of propriety where resignation is the least that needs to be done. Now, the big question that will be asked is whether, when Mr. Ishwarappa says that I never commissioned the work, there was no work order. So how did Santosh Patil operate? Did he just decide to do work on his own without a work order? Santosh claimed he completed the work and that's why he wanted this money, 4 crore rupees. But Mr. Ishwarappa has now released a letter written by his department dated the 28th of March saying that, well, no work order was issued. So then the big question is, did someone informally ask Santosh to carry out this work? And why was the project commissioned orally? Because are we to believe that contractors are working on their own free will and doing whatever they want in Karnataka? This is why the story becomes extremely complicated. And when you listen to the contractors' version, you will notice that there is some sort of a bribe rate card which is going on in Karnataka. Many contractors have now gone on record to say that you have to give a clear commission for each contract and there is a fixed rate card. A BBMP contractor says that for getting a contract, the cut money is 15% for submitting the bills, 10 to 12% for getting the payment, and 10% cut to the contractors. So overall, if you take a look at this entire breakup, I'll repeat this breakup once again. For getting a contract, 15% cut. For submitting bills, 10 to 12%. And for getting your payment, 10% cut. So if you add all of this, a sum total of 40% cut money has to be paid to the BJP government in Karnataka. Now this is an allegation coming in from the contractors' body. We have Mr. D. Kempanna. He is the president of the Karnataka State Contractors Association. Thank you very much, Mr. Kempanna, for joining us. The minister in question here, Mr. Ishwarappa, in his defense says that there was no work order and that is why Santosh Patil did not get any money. How would you respond?
Sir, there are cases from last 50 years. Sometimes emergency work, there will not be issued a work order. Afterwards, they will ratify the work orders. It's not the first time the Santosh is doing this type of work. There are several other contractors also doing the same thing. Afterwards, after instruction by the IAR authorities, he did his work. What were doing all these days, the executive engineers, they would have taken objection if unauthorizedly has done the work. They would have taken action against him now.
Sure, I think that's a very interesting point, because if contractors start to work on their own will, then obviously an action should have followed. So how is there a situation where without a work order, Mr. Patil is going on and doing that work? Mr. Kempanna, is 40% cut money a reality in Karnataka? Because there are other contractors who say that there are many other cases also. In fact, there is a fixed bribe card.
No. It is a reality in Karnataka. In all other cases also it has come. Because not only Patil case recently, we have given 2001 July letter to the Prime Minister of India stating that 2018 when he has come for election campaign in Karnataka, he was telling Karnataka was 10% corrupt government. We said and we have calculated this government has become a 40% corrupt government. We have given the facts and figures on all this one. This is not the party alone, it is the part and parcel of Karnataka. Every contractor is facing the same thing.
So you're saying every contractor is facing the same thing, and in 2018 you informed the Prime Minister and all senior leaders. I want to ask you, have you raised this matter at the highest level with the Chief Minister, Prime Minister and others? And if yes, is this a case of corruption still going on despite you bringing it to their notice?
Still they have not taken any action on this one. We have approached the Chief Minister, new Chief Minister, Baswaraj Bommai, up a time. He has not taken note of this one. He has not called for us, and we have requested him to let us discuss and sort out how to reduce the corruption and all we have asked. But he has not taken. Now because of Patil's death, they have awakened this one.
Mr. Kempanna, which departments asked for 40% cut other than Panchayati Raj? I mean, this case we have seen, but would you like to tell us about other departments?
All the departments where the works is going on, all the departments, whether irrigation, health service, PWD, this one, Panchayat Raj, all other departments, BBMP, and everywhere is 40%, sometimes is more also in the.
Sometimes more. You're saying that some of the departments ask for more than 40% cut money.
Yes, and we are ready to free the factory. If they have conducted the independent inquiry, we are 100% we are going to prove this one.
So you're saying that you will be able to provide proof. I want to ask you this, would you be able to see, right now it will appear as if here are these contractors who are making a wild allegation. That's what Mr. Ishwarappa has also said. Mr. Kempanna, would you be able to provide facts and proof and evidence to support your claim?
Yes, we have got some evidence also because of this contractor is afraid of taking action against them, and they are threatening also some of the ministers and MLAs threatening them. That's why we are requested to appoint a Supreme Court retired judge, a High Court retired judge to this one inquiry, and we are ready to prove that. If we are unable to prove this one, we are ready to take whatever the punishment they are given.
You think the investigation in this corruption case must not be limited to just Mr. Ishwarappa? Who all do you think needs to be investigated?
No, not only this one. This should be taken by everybody, and they should initiate the process to reduce the corruption in Karnataka.
All right, Mr. Kempanna, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast.